I just want to start by saying thanks to Coach Zim and the rest of the organization for this opportunity. Very, very blessed to get to stand here again in a different role. Excited. Excited to build on my relationships with the position groups that I've worked with in the past and the different players on offense, and go to a new room and hope to help the organization any way I can.
Okay, Eric Smith.
Hey, Andrew, congrats on this new spot. You mentioned being with a couple other positions in the past, but being a former college quarterback, how excited are you to get back into the quarterback room at a position that you have a lot of experience with?
It's exciting. It's a new opportunity. It's getting back to a position that I played growing up and went through, all through my college experience and then coached it at the Division II level. So it's exciting to go back to that world and get back into that familiar place.
Andrew Kramer.
Hey, Andrew, I just wanted to ask you about Kirk. What have you learned about him, I should say, in the 2 years you've been around him and kind of approaching coaching him? What were some of the priorities you want to take into that room?
Well, I think the first thing you learn if you spend 5 minutes with Kirk is how intelligent he is, and how bright of a person he is, and how good of a guy he is. So you want to make sure that you have a plan to help him in whatever way possible, and to make sure that he feels like that you're helping him and that you're going to be ready to challenge him to take steps to improve upon what we've done in the past. And to take a step forward. And I think it all starts with being prepared and being ready for him to be excited to go into that room every day.
Matthew Caller.
Hey, Andrew, when it comes to your journey here in coaching a lot of different positions and now seeing things from a lot of different perspectives, just how has that shaped your view on the quarterback position, having gotten to see it through the receiver's eyes, the offensive line's eyes, and things like that?
I think it'll be beneficial. Football is the ultimate team game, and it takes all 11 to be successful, and it takes all 11 on every play to be successful. So, trying to apply those different perspectives in a way that can help that room, is something that I would like to do going forward, and to be able to see it through a different position's eyes, and to help with that perspective, and to help try to tie it all together for all 11 players.
Courtney Cronin.
I couldn't figure out my audio. This is embarrassing. So there's a lot of versions of this offense that are run across the league, but particularly when it comes to coaching quarterbacks and how complex that, the footwork and the terminology and all of that is. And I know you're about to start that venture with that position group. How do you go about, I guess, teaching yourself all of that now during the self-scouting process of like the little tiny details to make sure that once you get back on the field with the quarterbacks that you can, be at their speed and their pace and take what you've learned in the off season and apply that?
Really, it's taken what I've learned, what I've been around with Coach Koob and Clint and even Kevin, back 2 years ago, and the things that I've written down, the things that I've heard them say, making sure that I understand Clint's vision and have that 100%, that make sure his vision gets applied into our room, because then that gets applied throughout the rest of the offense. So having that down, being on the same page with everybody, and then just going back and getting into some of my books of from the position and understanding what the expectations are to play in this offense and how those are applied.
Sam Ekstrom.
Yeah, Andrew, just bouncing off of Matthew's question, how specifically has your time with the offensive line kind of shaped the way now that you view coaching the quarterback position, and what can you teach based on, what you took away in those years?
Well, I think learning protections was a big thing, and learning and understanding how, your launch point as a quarterback, it affects the offensive lineman, and how you communicate the plays affects all 5 of those guys up front, and then as far as just to be where they expect you to be, and how you can help direct them, how you can help at the line of scrimmage, and how you help communicate with them because you understand a little bit more of what they're doing. You know, it's just not a protection. There's a technique that's applied to them as well when you call that play, and if you understand that, then you can help them even more.
Ben Gessling?
Andrew, the year that you had with Justin Jefferson and Adam Thielen, the relationship you have with them, how much do you think that will help you kind of help Kirk be even better with them going forward? How much does that kind of connection with all of those different parts of that group of the passing game kind of help you do your job going forward?
I think it's just, you know, the relationships that I've built there with those guys, and you know, that whole room. It's, first of all, it's a room full of excellent people, and guys that are just fun to be around, and just you know, so taking those relationships, whether it's receivers or whether it's the offensive line or it's the tight ends room, you know, and taking that and allowing those relationships and the strength of those relationships to come over into our room now as the quarterbacks.
Mike Zimmer